Good morning everyone, welcome to Limpfoot Adventures. Today I want to discuss hip pain after ankle fusion surgery. And I don't mean directly after ankle fusion, I mean after you've had your ankle fused for a period of time. You will potentially start to notice that your hip is hurting where it's making up for the lack of movement in your ankle. So hopefully anyone who is having this problem, whether you've had your ankle fused or not, if you've just got hip pain, hopefully this video will help you guys out to resolve it like I have. So I started to get hip pain about 5 years after I had my ankle fused. So at that point I had been walking with a strange walking gait for around probably about 5, 6, 7 years really, because I'd had all the stuff leading up to the ankle fusion, which would have had an impact on my other joints as well, because they were making up for the lack of movement and normal mobility. So yeah, I would say it was about 5 years after I just started to notice a really dull ache in my hip, and if I got in certain positions it was quite painful. I mean, to give you a sort of mental picture of what I'm talking about, imagine if you're sort of hooking your leg over a wall, and then when you go over you have to lift your leg quite high. Any positions like that would be absolute agony. Any walking that I did would trigger hip pain. So ultimately I ended up going down to see my GP, and they suggested that I should go and see the orthopedics team at the hospital, which I did, and I was told by them that my cartilage around my hip joint and the general hip joint area, the ankle fusion was having a bit of a negative impact on that, and ultimately in the not too distant future, if the pain didn't improve, I would have to have hip replacement. I was still quite young at the time. I would imagine I would have been around about 36 years old, and after all the operations that I'd already had up until that point, the thought of having a hip replacement to me just wasn't an option at that time. I'd only just started getting my life, back on track really. I was working full time, albeit in a physical job, but things were sort of slowly moving in the right direction after having years of operations, physiotherapy, hydrotherapy. So yeah, I didn't like the thought of having a hip replacement. So what I decided to do at that time was research what I could do for myself to try and improve the situation I was in. So I started to research hip pain management through sort of diet, exercising, stretching. I've never been one for taking painkillers, at least not for my leg. I don't want to mask the pain. I want to know how painful it is so I can make a more informed decision of what I do on a daily basis. If it's really sore, then it's my body telling me to rest. If it's really sore and I'm taking painkillers and I'm ignoring it, or even though painkillers don't get rid of it in its entirety, potentially I think you could probably do more damage than good. So yeah, I don't take painkillers. So it really was, how can I fix this homeopathically, if you like, if that's a word. It was a buzzword a few years ago. I'm not sure if that's still a thing. So yeah, I just researched as much as I could on the internet, started looking at different foods so I could bring into my diet, and the most effective exercises for losing weight. And one of the first things that I noticed was, same with any exercise really, consistency is key. You've got to pick your weapon, so to speak, and just keep grinding it out. You can achieve results, or at least I could in my case with hip pain, in just a few minutes a day. We're not talking about doing some crazy workout or, you know, an hour yoga stretch routine or anything like that. It's the most simplest of things that make a massive difference. And what I notice when I don't do it, the pain is actually unbearable after about a week of not, because we all have times in our life where, you know, life takes over your life. But if I don't do it for any period of time, the hip pain comes back. And at times it makes me completely immobile. There have been times where my hip is so bad I've had to crawl from one side of the room to the other. There's been times where I've ended up down an accident and emergency because I thought I had a serious problem with my leg. It was that bad. And I realised at that time, when I was assessing why my hip was so bad, I thought, why is it this painful? And the only conclusion I came to was, at that period of time, I hadn't done any stretching. I hadn't done any hip pain management, if you like. So it is really key to do this stuff. I mean, if you can't do it every day, every other day, routine will keep it manageable, even when it's quite hard to stick with when you've got everything going on. But it really will make a massive difference. I watched a guy on YouTube and he was saying something along the lines of the amount of people that have hip replacements, which could be avoided just by incorporating a simple stretch routine and regular exercise. And that was kind of a bit of a light bulb moment for me, where I just thought, at this time I don't need to have a hip replacement. I can manage this myself, if I just commit and stick to it. So what I'll do, I'll stick some 4 or 5 exercises up on the screen of things that I do on a daily basis, and these aren't things that are gonna ask you to be a contortionist or anything like that. They're very simple stretches, very easy to do. Even if your form isn't great, don't worry about that. I've got the worst form in the world when it comes to stretching and exercises, but these really will make a difference. Obviously, if you're in a lot of pain, stop, speak to your whoever your care advisor is with regard to whatever injury, or whether you've got arthritis or anything like that. But it really will hopefully make a difference for you like it has for me. Another thing to add is, don't just concentrate on the area that you're having the problem with. So you really want to get an all-round stronger body. So you want the surrounding muscles to be stronger, as well as the actual muscles or joints that you're trying to reduce pain in. So, you know, if you've got I'm not a personal trainer, obviously. If you've got a stronger core, stronger arms, stronger legs in all areas, it's all going to make a difference to the negative impacts of arthritis or ankle fusion or whatever your case may be. It really will make a difference, and diet is really important. I'll stick some foods up on the screen now that will really help promote joint health. There's some really good stuff out there. Unfortunately, most of it is fruit and vegetables, but there you go. And I'll stick some stuff up on the screen for any supplements you might want to take. So some of the actual exercise that I've done, cycling is brilliant for hip pain because it's low impact. It keeps your hip joint moving. Swimming is great. At times in my recovery, I used to just go to the swimming pool and just walk up and down for half an hour, and then I'd go over to the steps and just do like calf drops on the steps just to build up the muscles in my legs. So yeah, swimming pool is great, not just for swimming, just for general building your muscles up, building your fitness up, especially if you're starting ground zero. You don't want to be going for long walks outdoors, and you're probably not going to be able to go for long walks outdoors, but the swimming pool, you're kind of weightless in the pool, so yeah, it's really good. And just go for a coffee afterwards. Who doesn't like that, eh? So just a quick recap, and I hope this video has helped you. Self-care really will make a difference. I'm not saying it's going to answer all of your problems, but even if it improves your pain by 10%, surely it's got to be worth a try. Consistency is absolutely key. And let me know in the comments anything that you've tried to help reduce hip pain, and I really wish you the best of luck with it.